thousands. Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everybody?
What's going on,
We're
peeps?
talking about thousands, Chip. Thousands is what
Thousands.
we're talking about. Well, XRP hit $5 after lawsuit judgment. How about Shib to $1? We asked Gary Gensler. He says, no way.
Oh, what the hell?
That's what he says.
Daddy
Says,
G.
no way. But we're going to talk about that. We think it's a great topic. A lot of things to dissect. A lot of things going on in the space. People are bringing all sorts of stuff up. It is kind of cool, though, when you see SHIB volume, skyrocketing and all this talk about it going to $1. It is like dancing bears. So the SHIB's got the Shibarium or whatever they got, but lots of cool things.
Shibarium. Shibarium.
Well, the Shibarium is they got their whole
Hans,
network.
are you compiling the list? Where's the official list of crazy missaid words? We had.
That's a good one because they actually have a Shibarium or whatever it's called. They got the Shiba Inu, but they got their whole ecosystem.
They have
thing
something
there.
Jeff.
Man, Senator Ted Cruz is a champion of cryptocurrency, and that is exciting. We got to get into that. We got senators, we got congressional representatives fighting the big fight, not just for crypto, but also for some tax freedom. And we're going to all reference that. It all kind of ties together. Chip, you ready to kick this thing off? We got lots of people waiting.
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Good morning.
Whoa.
It's morning in Australia.
Good morning. Happy Monday to you over there. We're not quite there at the Monday. We're not at Monday yet, but that's okay. Jeff, I thought this one would be a good one to start off with because it's a Ripple story. So let's get into something like that. So here it is right there. So Ripple leads the way for creating the first digital currency for Montenegro. And Jeff, I spent a little time in Montenegro. I got to tell you, man, it's just a phenomenal. It's right next to Croatia there. Of course,
the oceans look like that. Is that for real?
Absolutely does. Yeah, I got to show you the pictures that I have. It look amazing. Look absolutely amazing. So it's a small country, but in southeastern Europe, part of the Balkans. December 21, Ivan Boskovic, the former director of payment systems and financial tech department of the Central Bank of Montenegro, published an article in the Currency Research titled "Central Bank of Montenegro: How to Boost Banking and Payment Innovation in a Small Developing Economy." And basically, he just said the transformation of existing conditions matters because it's a fundamental source of long-term growth. Fostering innovation brings with it several challenges depending on the level of development, market size, or even the geographic position of a country. So when compared to the front runners, small markets face barriers that are much more challenging than those found in advanced economies. So it's kind of like, the way he's looking at this is it gives a smaller player, a small, regional country, that on par type of potential with some of the larger countries. Like if you look at Singapore, Luxembourg, and Malta, they're pretty much the front runners, but then you've got the visionary policies that paid off. Now they're treated as role models, for, especially when we think about Singapore. It's like every other country has crypto regulation, Jeff. And what's the first one about? Singapore. It's like Japan, UK. So we throw all of those out there. Just Waz is in the house. When are we getting Just Waz on we got to get Just Waz on the program, Jeff. At some point.
That'd be sweet. Let's do it.
Got to do it, man. Anyway, on January 18th, Montenegro's prime minister reported his meeting with Brad Garlinghouse, who's Ripple's CEO, and James Wallace, who's Ripple's VP for central bank engagements and CBDCs. And then according to the translation by Google, which I guess it's close, Dr. Abrovic told his Twitter followers that we discussed the development of a payment infrastructure that provide greater financial accessibility and inclusion. Montenegro open to new value and investments. In cooperation with Ripple and the central bank, we launched the pilot project to build the first digital currency or stable coin for Montenegro. And Jeff, do you know what the country domain is for Montenegro?
The country domain. Let me think. MO.
Close. ME. It's .me. The .me extension comes from Montenegro.
Oh, wow. Really? I had no
Which
idea.
is why I was over there. I was invited to a startup festival, and I was over there. I was on stage. I was presenting. It's fun. It was great, Jeff, because they go like, hey, they go, there's like the first day, I think there were like 5 or 6 people going. And I was like, cool. And they told me that I would be like 5 or 6. And then they told me, like, as the room is packed and there's people standing along the walls, they go, oh, did we tell you you're going first? You're up right now. I was like, what? So it's like that whole sort of like not expecting to be on stage and then getting on stage was kind of like a sheer panic type of thing. And the best part of it was when I was presenting, everything was going great until there was one time I changed the slide. I forgot not only where I was, forgot who I was. Everything went blank, Jeff, for 3 seconds. And I just stood there. I paused. I thought, oh my God, what's going on? And then I just picked up again. And and it just looked like a thoughtful pause. Meanwhile, I was panicking and freaking out because I was like, I forgot everything. So there it is right there. Look at that. And this picture I remember, was this tweeted out a while? Yeah, January 18th. Yeah. Garlinghouse is like, okay, man. He's looking at his face like, okay, we got this. Okay. He's like, so it's a weird look there. He's like, I don't know if we can do it. Garlinghouse is like, come on, man. We're Ripple. What do you think we're going to do?
Ripple. Garlinghouse.
Look at his face. Here it is. An engaged crew. And apparently that's what it says. Jeremy Hogan, a partner at the American law firm Hogan & Hogan, explained how the XRP ledger could work with the central bank digital currency. He said the XRP ledger was created in 2012 by David Schwartz, Jeb McCaleb, Arthur Brito, and the XRP is the native currency of the XRP ledger. And it's also not a security, Jeff. Were you aware of that?
I did not. I had no idea.
Well, Gary Gensler apparently has an idea, and he thinks it's security. And it's like if you went up to him and said, hey, how about those oranges and the Howey that come out of the Howey test with the orange grows? Are they the security? No. So how can XRP be the security? Bam. Just give him an old shot right in the face, Jeff. So there you go. There you have it. A bit of cool news. We'll see what happens with that. It'll be interesting to see. I saw that John Deaton also tweeted this video out, which is pretty interesting. Let me go ahead and share this thing. I don't know why don't I have John Deaton's tweet to this? Hang on a second. Let me see if I can find Deaton's tweet. Here it is.
Got some good ones.
Let's read it first, and then we will comment on it. So, yeah. So, RizXRP tweeted this video out. You know, it says Gary Cardone. It's Grant Cardone. He actually lives down here in Miami.
Gary Cardone.
It's Gary on the brain, but it's Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone coming to...
Maybe it's Grant's brother, Gary.
Coming for crypto. And he's got a weird, peculiar haircut going on. I don't know what's going on with his hair. It's all jacked up. But let's listen in on this. And then Deaton made a comment about this, which is why I saw the tweet in the first place. But let's listen in.
The payment industry has a massive amount of problems in declining credit card transactions, in having your credit card decline just because the provider of that card may not like you anymore.
Right.
That happened in Russia 1 year ago. All Visa, all MasterCard, you're not using any of this.
But Jeff, that's true. But it's also happened here to plenty of people. They got completely taken out. And if you know Yee, that's exactly what happened to him. It's like 1 minute you got 100 million plus in the bank, and the next minute your bank, which we know it is, I don't know if we need to tell what the bank is, but it says like, hey, you no longer have an account here. Why? I'm sorry, we chose not to do business with you. So that you get canceled, Jeff. You say the wrong thing, do the wrong thing, step out of line. The powers that be don't like that. And Grant Cardone's making a great point. It's like this happened if you were using the Visa or MasterCard a year ago in Russia. Zip,
doesn't look like him.
It looks weird, right? He looks a little off today.
Doesn't look like him at all.
So the sovereign value to...
It's not. Maybe it is Gary Cardone.
Maybe it's his brother.
It doesn't look like him at all, does it? It doesn't even sound like him.
No.
It's like his dude. Every time you play a YouTube video,
Grant.
No, it must be Gary. It is Gary Cardone. Gary. See, he put Grant, but it is Gary Cardone. It's Gary Cardone.
Cardone, yeah. Because if you look at
Cardone,
you know,
he doesn't look right.
I mean,
and Grant Cardone is bubbly.
Got to be a different guy. I mean, altogether, right?
Gary Cardone. I don't know, man.
Is it Gary?
Is there a Gary Cardone? There it is, a Gary Cardone right there.
I don't know. See, that's Grant Cardone.
There's Gary Cardone. So maybe it's Gary Cardone. Yeah, I know Grant. Yeah, it looks like a bad. It's got to be his brother.
Yeah, Gary Cardano.
Yeah, and he has the whatever. It's like it's all off. No, because and I was like, what's wrong with his hair? Something looks weird about it. First of all, I know Cardone pretty well, but and of course, every video you play, a short video, anything, it's always that. So let's listen in. Let's listen to Gary. What Gary has to say.
Gary. And is it? You're not even playing it. Is it Gary Cardone? He is the brother. Look at this.
Brother. Yeah, it's the brother of Grant. That's why he looks. Why he looks like a little older and a little bit off.
Yeah. See, here they are.
Happened in Russia 1 year ago. All Visa, all MasterCard. You're not using any of this. So the sovereign value to me,
sounds like
as a bit of a creature who doesn't like being controlled by people I don't even know their name. I didn't vote for them. I like crypto because at least for a small percentage, 3%, 5%, 10%, I have some sovereign, I've managed a bit of my sovereign risk, right? Like, I just want to leave the country now. I'm going to go live on a sailboat, and I'm not going to be tied to a currency or a passport that makes me do certain things. So that's kind of how I ended up here. I find it intellectually, it is the most exciting industry I have ever been in, bar none. I've been in 5 of them, 5 big ones. I love the youth of the people. I was in Wall Street this whole week. I think companies investing in this space are more serious today than they were a year ago, and far more serious than they were 3 years ago. Like I'm really excited what I saw in New York this week, because there are 150-year-old monster institutions that are coming in this space. They've been studying it. They have not stubbed their toe yet. They didn't get involved with some of this bullshit, and they're going to launch and they're deploying a monster amount of intellectual capital behind it.
Yeah, I mean, BlackRock's here, JP Morgan's here, Fidelity is massively here in the crypto space. You don't get much bigger names than that. They're just sort of quietly evolving. I love the point you made earlier about always wanting to be where there's disruption. You talked about it being technological disruption, regulatory disruption. I think we've clearly had the technological disruption from crypto, which you described well, certainly in the payment space. Are you concerned about the regulatory disruption that could potentially be coming as a result of all the things that we saw?
Who's crypto? I agree with him 100%. I will get my hair cut the same way tomorrow.
The same tomorrow.
It makes sense. Like, why wouldn't you? It sounds like that's the only option you have, really. I mean, quite honestly, right, Jeff? There's no other option than that. And
then, if you agree with them, I mean, why not?
And then Deaton commented on that, and he said, he put Grant Cardone, but we know it's Gary, but he said, listen to Gary Cardone explain how legacy players are getting into crypto. I've said for more than a year that Gary Gensler is crashing crypto, including exchanges, so the incumbents can get a bigger slice. Heard Julius that time. After that, there will be some level of clarity worked out.
Yeah.
I'm like, just dust off that token taxonomy, Jeff. It'll be worked out tomorrow. It could be done this week. That's how fast it can happen.
It could have been done. It can be done. We have so many opportunities right now, to really make some big moves. Obviously there's a monumental lawsuit that we're dealing with right now, and seeing with the SEC v Ripple. But here and to that point, so I just want to take off. There was another post by John Deaton that kind of, he's referring to somebody else, but it based on this exact same, idea that what you're talking about. So here, John Deaton was saying, great explanation. This is coming from Jimbo, saying the SEC wants to have the tokens themselves implied to be implicitly securities by omission of any statement to the contrary from the judge. The judge asked SEC to provide that clarity. They refused. Library complained, and here we are with this meeting tomorrow. So if you think about this idea, what is the SEC actually doing? What was, we talked about this yesterday morning, the full purpose of FTX in terms of where they're at this point, the overall control, the crashing of the markets, the entry point, the entry point for the legacy system. the legacy system they have to control this. And so here we go. Here's exactly what what we've seen, what we've known. Man, we're at this amazing time period right now, Chip. And crypto is coming to the forefront of every single conversation. We wouldn't be here having any type of discourse over Gary Gensler, like you just said, had it been for Maxine Waters and the others that have pushed the Token Taxonomy Act away, outside. They're not allowing any kind of real clarity.
Yeah, it's like, had it been for, not been for, above, and then there's up above, which is above, which is up above. So when you go to the top, Jeff, it's getting a little bit crazy what's happening pretty much everywhere. But 2023, I think, is going to be a surprising year. Now, just take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, it's up 50% from its low just like 6 weeks ago, right? So that's pretty interesting. That in itself is pretty cool. Then you got some other coins like making some rumblings out there. But ultimately, I have a feeling that most people will probably be very excited to just that, whatever that little inkling is. I think what Gary Cardone was going on about is like Wall Street is waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for that a little bit of traction, right? Because it's this crypto winter. They're looking at Bitcoin, and Bitcoin's the market driver, right? So as Bitcoin starts getting a little bit of steam, all of a sudden out of nowhere, we started seeing movement out of some other coins, which is pretty interesting. But Jeff, can we do a little segue on some scam, bankrupt, fraud?
Scam, bankrupt, fraud. Let's talk. Let's bring it up. Let's segue back into it.
Let's go back into this because this is a real kind of quick hitters. But Jeff, this is great. Look at this. So Unusual Whales put this out. This week, prosecutors have seized $50 million from Sam Bankman-Fried's account in the tiny rural Washington State Bank, the Farmington State Bank, where he purchased an $11 million stake in the bank last year. This is the bank. Now, what this looks like is, if you guys remember, it's like a tiny little, I don't even know if you call it a bank. It looks like it's like one of those old one-room schoolhouses. It's just like 4 windows and a door. That's it. A standalone building. There's some shed over here, but this is apparently the bank. A little flower pot with some dead flowers out in front. This is it, Jeff. That was $11 million. So he needed a bank. So that was his bank. So they've seized the funds there, $50 million from his account.
Prior to purchasing it, which they did get into, they got into a lot more than what they were normally doing. And I believe they were into farming, or, they were doing something in that, with equipment or, financing. I forget exactly what it was. We'd have to look it up. But from that point, when he bought that bank, he looked for an easy target, something that, and this goes back, Chip, though, to the notion of what we had talked about a couple years ago. And that was as to whether or not crypto markets, crypto exchanges would be buying the banks first, or if the banks and the financial institutions would be buying the crypto exchanges first, which one would happen. And we've seen a little bit of both. All right. We've seen, because we know that Kraken has invested in a bank in Wyoming. At that time, FTX invested in that bank. That's a little murky at this point, because obviously we know that his whole thing with with a scam, bankrupt, fraud, there's some definite issues with that. A concrete hut.
And I'll be saying, like, giving a lot of credit. It's probably not even concrete. It's probably just plaster. It's probably just wood with some plaster over the top of it.
Looks like the Wild West banks that Dalton Brothers used to rob.
That's right. Come on, boys. Let's go rob a bank. Let's go rob a bank. It's like easy in and out, right?
I think you say my shed is bigger than that.
It doesn't matter. I mean, so that's where his money was hiding out. Listen, he bought his own bank and put his own money in, kept it in his bank, and he was technically safe because it was. All of a sudden, big hot tip from Jim D says right now, JM Bullion has a 2023 QE2 Britannia at only $4.90 over spot, which is decent.
Hey, I just want to throw up some of the comments that were in here. And if you haven't done so already, give a give a quick shout out to where you guys are tuning in from. Michael Murphy may be tuning in from Florida one day if Shib goes to $1, and he'll fly all the way out here from Oregon and take us both to dinner. So let's get that Shib. Let's get that Shib to $1 because we want Michael Murphy out here for dinner as soon as possible.
Jeff, how funny would it be, right? So everyone just kind of like bought a little bag of Shib, right? Shib,
Yep.
right? And so that goes to
Shib.
$1. And the funny thing is, you'd have massive crypto, because with all people with all this money, right? Crypto millionaires. On the one bag, they didn't think would ever happen, but the stuff they really go like, yeah, this stuff over here, like we studied the use case, and it's got a real. No, not that stuff. Shiba Inu goes to $1, and then maybe goes to $1.25. How crazy would that be?
Man, I mean, it'd be a game changer for the entire space, especially their whole Shibarium.
Shibarium, it should just go there. I mean, just given everything that's happened, why not, Jeff? Why can't it be ready for a giant bull run there? I mean, I don't see why not. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah,
that's right. Oh, so Legendary says, I'm pretty sure we're going to see XRP take off before we hear about any lawsuit decision. Don't get left out. Here we have XRP currently sitting at 41 cents. It's up off its lows back in the 30s. So obviously, Chip, there's been a lot of movement with the XRP. XRP.
Abu Dhabi in the house, Jeff. Abu Dhabi's in the house.
Abu Dhabi. Hey,
how about this one? Yeah, how about this one, Jeff? Right there. You gonna have a beer with wEeZIE? Hell yeah, we will. We're gonna head over to Australia.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, man. We got to go to Australia.
We're gonna do a track across. Like we're just gonna drive from probably start on the west coast or over there.
Not driving to Australia.
But no, I'm saying we get there. We'll take a road trip when we get there, Jeff. Of course.
Oh yeah, all around Australia. It's amazing.
Pretty cool, like West Coast.
Dude, the Australia meetup.
Fantastic.
OTC meetup.
On that giant, like in the center where nobody is, in Australia, right there. Giant rocks and stuff. It's great. I follow some YouTubers that are constantly, doing van life throughout Australia, so I get a little bit of a flavor of it. It's kind of fun.
All right, so I would like to know, here we got wEeZIE 2017 says, hi dudes, but how many people in here know who that guy is?
I know his first name begins with an A, and last name begins with an N.
All right, let's see.
You know what his middle initial?
E.
That's right. Let's see if somebody has it. Come on, guy.
Come on. See who posts that.
wEeZIE, you don't know.
There's Crypto Garyable Guy 123.
Crypto G, man. That's awesome. You gotta love that. No, it's actually not, but well, listen. Nobody got it there? Okay, you got it right there. It's Pete Buttigieg.
Howdy Doody.
Howdy Doody's a good guess too, but no, that's not it. Mad Magazine. Another clue.
And Howdy Doody's name didn't have an E in it.
Jeff, I remember it was Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. I used to like Cracked Magazine. What was the one that had Spy versus Spy?
Oh, there was. I think that wasn't that Mad, or was that there was another one? There was Mad.
There was Cracked, which was a takeoff of
of Mad. I remember Mad Magazine. They would have the fold in the back, and you could.
There it is.
There you
Jacob
go.
Slater, Alfred E. Newman. I don't know who made that name up, but there you go. All right, so jumping back into it over here. So the DOJ, Department of Justice, seeks to cut off Sam Bankman-Fried's communication with key people involved in the fraud trial. This guy just keeps stepping in it left and right, Jeff.
Dude,
so
when are they going to remove him? When are they just going to say, hey, you know what?
I don't know, man. I don't know how this is going to go. But in a new court filing, the DOJ asked for a ruling that would cut off Bankman-Fried's access to current and former employees that are embattled crypto firms, as they may be prone to intimidation. So you see a little bit of a shakedown over there. Government seeking to limit the defendant's contact only with current and former FTX and Alameda employees, the very people who until recently were the defendant's underlings, whom he supervised allegedly, and financially compensated, who are therefore vulnerable to intimidation. The government does not consider it administratable to identify a more limited subset of the former and current employees whom the defendant may not contact. The government has not completed its investigation and is still identifying individuals. It says, according to the DOJ, Bankman-Fried has already attempted to contact the witness, asking if they could reconnect to use each other as resources. Come to the government's attention that the defendant has been in direct communication with the current general counsel of FTX, who may be a witness at trial. He may be actually witness one, and then who's represented by counsel, specifically on January 15, 2023. Defendant contacted witness one over the encrypted messages application signal. So see, Jeff, he's a little bit smart, but it looks like somebody had to come clean there, right? Because nobody knows if you're talking via signal, because it's not on anybody's radar. So somebody had to talk. So it must have been witness one said, hey, just so you know, nut job, Bankman-Fried has contacted me. So that's, I mean, like, what would he possibly be reaching out to counsel for, Jeff? I mean, it sounds kind of crooked as it is, right? He's in tons of hot water, and he apparently thinks he's immune from it. I don't know.
He is immune. He's immune so long as he's immune. You know,
He's like, I didn't mean to do it. I mean, it was just something that happened, and we probably wouldn't have gone bankrupt. Saved everyone's money, and I was playing videos.
He's playing video games the whole entire time. What a nut job.
They all want a piece of the action. I'll tell you what, and this guy right here, One Eye Willie's, has it right on. He said, I have Chase Bank. You think they don't see the amount of money I'm spending on crypto? They see the data. They know how much their customers are spending. They want a piece of that action. Now they can make assumptions based on, if they're actually looking into those, into that data, the statistics of how many exchanges are they connected to. Is there some sort of an API link back? I don't know if they can see that kind of data. That'd be interesting to know. Really like to know if they see that data. There's a data report. Hey, what kind of financial institutions are our customers connecting with?
Of course they know, Jeff, and they want in on that. They want in on the fees. They want in on the custody. I mean, hell yeah, it's like, with when it comes to the what are those, when you buy, like if you overdraw those overdrawn fees, penalties, those are kind of like going away, but that's how a lot of banks made a lot of their money. They got to like figure out, hey, how do we custody crypto? How do we make money on crypto, Jeff? I want you to see this. I'm going to read these two tweets.
We make money with Vincent Wilson.
Hells yeah.
Guy Schiffelbein knows Vincent
baby.
Wilson.
20K, Jeff. That's all it's going to take.
20K. Be life-changing.
Here we go. So here we have this. I wanted to put this up there. Let's play this video. I want to play the next one. These two tweets. You want to get your opinion on this, Jeff? I'm not going to say anything about it. I just want to get your opinion on it. So here we go. So wEeZIE tweeted out here. It said, XRP News, a person speaking at Rana Shaud's assistant special agent in charge of the Homeland Security investigations. Does the government know who Satoshi is, and did they meet with him? So this has come up before. KC's 13, Cincinnati 6. Thank you for that. I was watching that game. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So here we go. Let's listen to this, Jeff. Let's listen in and see what
Walker's bank questioned him about his crypto investment.
Interesting. Here we go. Let's listen in.
We looked at Bitcoin. It was the most prevalent at that point. We had seized quite a bit of it, millions of dollars worth under the Silk Road investigation. So one of our agents who started looking at another online marketplace through the deep web, which was called Black Market Reloaded, they were sending weapons through packages and ordering them on the dark web. And he was really, really smart, forward-leaning agent. And he goes, I want to go interview Satoshi Nakamoto. And we're like, what? He said, yeah, I want to go interview this guy. And at the time, we're like, hey, it's a figment of somebody's imagination. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not true. So, we had all this pushback from our headquarters. And we thought, hey, if an agent wants to go talk to him and we have some money, why don't we send him? Let's find out how this works. So as it came to be, the agents flew out to California and they realized that he wasn't alone in creating this. There were 3 other people, and they sat down and met with them and talked to them to find out how this actually works and what the reason for it was. We looked at Bitcoin. It was the most
Okay, Jeff. So what they're alleging here is that a really smart, forward-thinking agent, the FBI, the CIA, whatever it was, they flew out to California, met with Satoshi Nakamoto. It turns out Satoshi Nakamoto was really a culmination of not only Satoshi, but 3 other people. So 4 people in total. Turns out they live in California. So Jeff, your thoughts on this story of being a possibility that, and we've heard it floated around many, many times, that they had met with Satoshi?
Yeah, I mean, I think... I believe that if we go back to the whole Satoshi, I do believe that it's more than one person You know, and
But I'm asking you, did these agents meet Satoshi?
oh, did these guys
Nakamoto?
meet him? I don't think they did.
No way,
I don't think
dude.
so.
So who
You
was
know,
the people
if they were
scamming?
if they were able to meet with Satoshi, you know, the word would have gotten out. It wouldn't just be, oh, hey, we met with them, you know, and nobody still, you know, no one, we're not going to let you know who it was. Nobody knows who it is. It would have already been out. The bag, you know, it would have been, the cat would have been out of the bag, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean,
That's it.
so you're so how do you connect these dots? You're out there. Think about it, Jeff. You're out there, essentially browsing the dark webs, right? You come across the website.
Yeah.
The next thing you know is you're flying to California and you're meeting with Satoshi and 3 other people. Sounds a little bit
Shady.
this just sounds a little bit off. So of course,
Now, of course, if they're on the dark web, of course they can run into Satoshi.
yeah, because
Satoshi.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're on the dark web. It's like, yeah, we're Satoshi. Come out.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, we're all Satoshi. I'm Satoshi.
We're all Satoshi. I'm Satoshi. It's like, I'm
Yeah.
Negan. I'm Satoshi. Right? It's like from
Come
like
meet
The
us.
Walking Dead. It's like the same type of thing. So then, digital asset investor. Did you know that he's not a financial?
I did not know that.
He's not a He always says he's not a financial. He's not giving
Advisor?
financial advice. So he's not a financial. So
I
this
always
one
go to
came out.
YouTube for my financial advice.
Yeah, that's where I go for mine as well. So here you go. So he says from the same conference, and now we know the
Oh, hang
SEC
on.
was there.
Hang on. Big update.
What you got,
Big
Jeff? What you
update.
got? What you got? What you got? What you got? The middle of the story, Jeff?
Middle of the story for those who care. Cincinnati 12, Kansas 13.
All right. I like the way this is going. Is we got a game here. So the same conference, and now we have the SEC was there at the presentation. This
Cincinnati
is proof.
13.
Beautiful. How did that happen? This is proof that the SEC knows and knew who Satoshi is and created policy making its commodity with their knowledge. Let's listen in and see what we think about that.
But in all seriousness, I think this was the best demo of their agency because I want them to keep their jobs and, have wonderful careers. And I could come up with this, how cryptocurrency works. This is not going to be a technical explanation. Maybe the guy from SEC, Martin, right? No, you don't want to do a technical explanation of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency or the blockchain. I do want to say that both of these folks are government employees, SEC and Homeland Security. So anything that I say certainly does not reflect upon them. But in all seriousness, I think.
Okay, so what does that tell you? It tells me that 2 guys, one of them named Martin, somebody else from the SEC, was in attendance at a show. According to Digital Asset Investor, it says, now we know the SEC was there at the presentation. Check, I believe that. This is proof the SEC knows and knew who Satoshi is. How is that proof? I'm missing that point. Did I miss that one?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out how this is all connected. You know,
It's
exactly.
not proof. I mean, nobody knows for sure who they met with. I mean, and why were they so eager to meet? And then all of a sudden, so if Homeland Security knows or no one says anything about it, it's like, oh.
If somebody knew, I mean, by this time, I'm not buying it.
It's like we lost. It's like we had that NASA scientist saying we lost the technology to go to the moon. How do you lose it? I mean, it's just like back on a piece of paper.
But according to Elon Musk, he said we unlearn things. If we don't develop it, and then we unlearn what we've done in the past. I mean, think about Roman aqueducts.
I've got more power on my phone here than what they used to send supposedly.
We also lost the technology of building the pyramids.
Is that that was a lot longer. We're talking about
the Greek battery.
This is 50 years ago, Jeff. I mean, and then the other thing that I found funny was the original time we went to the moon. Apparently we had better technology back then, but it took us 3 days. This new mission, this Artemis one, is 5 days and unmanned. So it's going to take 2 extra days, Jeff, to get to the moon with these giant rockets that can land themselves. So,
we'll make it there.
I don't know. It seems a little weird to me. That's all I'm saying. Just putting it out there. But anyway, I'm not sure it proves anything. It surely raises some questions.
So here's the statement of the day. Look who founded the first patent for distributed ledger technology.
Is that David Schwartz?
I think that was it. David Schwartz.
Yeah, David Schwartz. And
So here's the question, and he worked at NSA, but here's Steve Walker's point. 1.3 million Americans have top secret clearance. That's quite a few people.
Seems like a lot. It's a lot of
a lot of top secret clearance.
Keep track of that.
How about this one? Satoshi is Elon Musk. Now, do you think who's that one guy? I can't even think of his name offhand.
Peter Thiel. I thought it was the
guy that's super brash. He wears his little handkerchief out of his jacket all the time. Big ties, older gentleman, does those.
It's just trivia night at on the chain. I'm not really sure you're talking about, Jeff. Are we
talking about? And then there's
Warren
that
Buffett?
other guy. No.
Charlie Munger.
Why can't I think of his name?
I don't know. Is he an investor?
And there was the other guy. Yeah, and he runs businesses, and then he teaches people, and he's F-bombing all the time. He's the older guy, gets up on stage and goes off on people.
Oh, that's the English guy, the English dude.
Yeah, but there was the English guy, but yeah. Oh, he's American,
man. No, I don't know who you're talking about.
I can't think of his name. I can't believe I just lost. But anyhow, he claims that he knows who Satoshi is. Dan Pena. See, just.
But I said Dan Pena. He lives over in England. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. Dan Pena. Yeah, that's
Dan Pena. Yeah, Alchemist said it too.
Well, he also said that
Waza got it. But that guy, he said that he knew Satoshi.
But he also said he said he knew. He also said Bitcoin's going to zero. I don't ever see Bitcoin going to zero. I don't ever see it going to zero for any reason.
Yeah, that's what Guarav is saying.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't see that either, man. Does Bitcoin go to zero? I don't see how it's going to zero at this point. And this hyper focus of digital assets within the SEC currently right now, and some of these Jim Cramer type economists that believe that the digital asset space is going to go to zero and Bitcoin's going to go to zero just doesn't make any sense, as the rest of the world is rapidly looking for ways to gain adoption of it. So what's going to happen to Dan Pena with his big statements? Is he going to really care? Does it even matter? And he's saying that the Russians made Bitcoin. So who made Bitcoin? And that's the big question also. And if we're in this project, we have a brand new asset class. All this stuff started 12 years ago. Where is this going? What would be the intent of a government entity to launch Bitcoin if they wanted full control of the movement of money by the people? The digital currency, the digital dollar, the digital yuan that's centralized, that's programmable, isn't Bitcoin. It's not decentralized. It's not XRP. It's not built on the XRPL. What would be the end game? So where's the separation? Where did the road fork? If there were government agencies, and if the government agency or player within government agencies decided to launch Bitcoin, what were they opposing on the other side of the government aisle?
Yeah, good question, Jeff. I don't think I know. I don't know the answer to that is, but I do know this. I don't
think anyone knows. Is it Craig Wright?
Craig Wright. No, Craig Wright. But I do know. Yeah, if it's Craig Wright, then okay.
Just ask him. Just ask him. He'll tell you.
He says Satoshi. So look at two cool things that are happening with.
There you go.
Hal Finney. Yeah, I actually thought Hal Finney would probably be the most. Everyone said, well, Hal Finney because he passed away, right? So
that's right.
And I don't think anybody ended up with I don't think anybody got access to his crypto.
A lot of it.
Yeah. So and that's never moved. Satoshi's wallet's never moved. It could have been Hal Finney. So there you go.
Mark saying it's him.
Of course it is, Mark. Gosh, I mean, thank you for coming.
And you heard it here first on the chain. So.
Yeah, heard a lot of things here, but I don't know about that. So here we go. Here we have Arizona Senator introduces a bill to make Bitcoin legal tender. This is State Senator Wendy Rogers. She proposed a set of new bills aimed at making Bitcoin legal tender and allowing state agencies to accept Bitcoin, which is pretty cool. And then just on the heels of that, we had Ted Cruz, who's a senator from the great state of Texas. He introduced cryptocurrency, the reintroduction of the accept resolution. You're like, well, what the hell is that? Cruz said the cryptocurrency is generating new jobs, encouraging entrepreneurs to invent new values and creating new hedges against inflation. And then I'll add this myself, but Gary Gensler is destroying it all. Presenting new opportunities, also increasingly used as a secure form of payment for goods and services. Precisely why we, here at the United States Capitol, should increase accessibility and signal our support for the burgeoning cryptocurrency industry who visit Capitol Hill. So it's not just that, it's all of crypto. Like, can you imagine, like, you pay your taxes with like a native crypto, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. So his resolution would require the architect of the Capitol, the Secretary of the Senate, and the Chief Administrative Officer of the House of Representatives to encourage Capitol gift shops to accept cryptocurrency as a form of payment and to enter into contract with vendors who accept cryptocurrency as a payment for food service and vending machines within the Capitol complex. An added advantage would be of using crypto in a form of payment is that the Capitol would provide foreign tourists who visit our nation's capital each year with a safe and secure payment option without the need to pay unnecessary and often costly currency exchanges. Pull out your phone, bloop, bloop, scan a URL code, and you're ready to go.
And you're ready to go. And man, I mean, it's exciting to see that we have. Oh, it's delayed. Why is the game delayed all of a sudden?
Why is the game delayed? You watching it, Jeff?
No, I've just got the. I just threw it up here and the live feed for the score. But anyhow, you know, this whole idea of what's going on right now. So we've got so many pro crypto representatives that are coming out strong, and you know, Ted Cruz being one of them. So here's the thing, you know, we're looking at two really important potential financial tools that are being put in front of our government representatives right now. One of them, digital assets, cryptocurrency, putting together bills to provide clarity, to allow there to be rules of the road, to allow the U.S. to take a leadership position in this space. If they don't do it, if they drop the ball, we're going to be set a couple years back, and other countries are going to steamroll ahead, far ahead of where the U.S. is and will be. So that's one. The other thing that's happening right now that is really critical, and the two will end up, you know, kind of intersecting here to tie together, which is income tax. So there's a lot of discussion right now on there being a flat tax or a fair tax. And what that essentially means is that there's no longer an income tax, and it all goes down to a consumption tax. That means that if you sell your cryptocurrency, potentially there won't be a capital gains tax. There won't be, you know, an income related tax related to it. We'll see how that all unfolds, how that conversation unfolds. But this becomes, you know, we're entering a period of time right now where there seem to be, at least those within the new government representatives, those newly elected, and some that have been there for a little while but are recently looking for power plays, that are saying, hey, you know what, we need to move the financial structure to benefit the people and not just at the hands of the government. Jib, I think, you know, we're definitely and I believe that the counterbalance of cryptocurrency right now is providing this opportunity. I believe if there wasn't a strong counterbalance, you know, they might not even have the leverage to discuss this. But I think right now we're at that juncture. What are your thoughts?
There's a thought right there. Killer says, I think Ted Cruz has a good angle.
Yep.
Score up the Casey's moving the ball down from the 13. Still at the 13. Still 13-13, but I think they're heading into Cincy territory. And there you have it. Liz Warren is Satoshi. Obvious. Says Steve Walker. Gary's been asked to answer that. He'll be answered at the next oversight committee. Yeah. When is this next oversight committee? We'll see what's happening. Not financial advisor.
Your mom says crypto Trojan horse for CBDCs. One Eye Willie said it doesn't benefit the SEC to bring clarity. Market confusion is great for the SEC. How else will they make money? That's a solid point, which goes to the same conversation back to the tax code. The tax code is super confusing. which makes it extremely difficult for people. And it's done on purpose. The other thing that becomes really confusing, incidentally, happens to be some of our voting processes. And so that's also super confusing when you get to that level. That's a different conversation. A lot of confusion out there. Your mom says most people are going to pay more taxes with IRS abolishment in consumption. Your mom's.
Just like that's the name of that. At your mom.
At your mom's. Now imagine the amount of money, and this is such a great point. You abolish the IRS and the amount of money that they'll collect in consumption tax. I would love it. People are going to spend more money. I think it's an amazing concept. Wealthy people buy a lot of things. Put a consumption tax. People that want to save, if you don't want to buy something, I'm going to put that, or I'm not going to buy anything. I'm not paying tax. But everyone has to buy something. That's the beauty of it. It's amazing.
Create a giant black market. It's what happened in India when they try to flush those certain denominations of fiat currency out, because there was like a black market to avoid taxes, which is why they said, okay, you've got 30 days to pull that out from underneath your bed and wherever you have it hidden. And next thing you know, all this money came out of nowhere, and it was just kind of like, stuck in behind there. So yeah,
Pocahontas knows how to suck down a bottle of beer.
And she likes to tell her husband, "Oh, honey, thanks for showing up. Oh, I thought your husband lived with you.
What are you doing here? Oh, how nice. Yeah, how nice for you to show up to my thing.
Yeah, how nice of you. Oh, I can't believe you showed up to this thing. I was going to the kitchen to get my own beer. Thank you." And isn't it funny when you watch somebody drink a beer for the first time, the way they, put their like, I'm like, who does that, Jeff? Nobody does that.
No. XRP for life said, I'd rather pay consumption tax any day over income tax. Hell yeah.
That's why they got that bill in the House to eliminate it. To eliminate income tax.
You if you KYC yourself.
What I think they ought to do in an epic takedown, Jeff, is pass a bill that says we are going to audit the Federal Reserve. And then when they realize of all the shady, nasty, horrible, unspeakable things that are going on over there, and everything where their money is and how they've been ripping, the country off for the last 100+ years, it's not going to end well. But that's ultimately what has to happen is we got to crush the Federal Reserve. That has to go away. It's just that you can't have a system of debt that lasts. How did it last over 100 years to begin with? Usually these central banks, they come in, they go out pretty fast. They have to try to put something else in its place. And Jeff, I like feel-good stories. Here's a feel-good story. A MATIC trader.
Even alchemists can agree with the consumption tax. Abolish the income tax. Everyone.
MATIC trader turns $80,000 into $4 million as Polygon ends up 50%. So this is kind of a cool story.
Holy cow, that's a nice story. How much? 80,000.
He took $80,000 and turned it into $4 million. MATIC's up 19% in the past week to $1.19. Lifting gains for the token upwards of 50% in January. This comes as the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum have increased nearly 44% and 38% in the last 30 days, respectively. At the time of writing, MATIC's the 10th largest crypto by market cap with a total of $10.6 million. The Polygon whale received 4 million MATIC from cryptocurrency exchange Binance in September of 2020 for around 84,000, or just over 2 cents per token. 2 days ago, the wallet parted with its MATIC holdings for $5.2 million worth of stablecoins, according to Etherscan. Even though the sale included more MATIC than the wallet's initial purchase from Binance, the trader still saw a return of about 50 times the original price that it paid on the 4 million MATIC, worth around $4.5 million or $1.14 per token at the time of sale. How'd you like to turn $84,000 into five? Well, technically it was $4.2 million, but then he had added to that wallet aside from that this transaction right here. So
I would hate it. It'd be so horrible.
There it is.
That MATIC trader is Satoshi. Satoshi.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome, man. But it would be even better if that story said that somebody that bought $100 worth of Shib sold it, made 40 million. Now that is a story.
That is a story.
That would be an awesome story.
It would be something though, Jeff, wouldn't it?
Mark said I turned 84,000 into 10,000. Winning.
Winning
strategy.
So yeah, I mean, let's face it. It's kind of we all have a story like that, right? So But again, but the thing about it is though, is like if you bought it at 2 cents and it's gone, I think the high was $2.92 at one point. I think that was what they said in the article. You know, I mean, look, if it drops, you gotta kind of hopefully it comes back, or you kind of cut your losses. How about this, Jeff? OneCoin founder Ruja Ignatova resurfaces after 5 years in hiding. So-called crypto queen turned up in a British government filing, though some say the connection is tenuous.
Yeah.
So there's a filing. A so-called beneficial owner of Abbott's House Penthouse Limited, a Guernsey-based company that purchased a multi-million-dollar penthouse in the London suburb of Kensington. Property was recently put up for sale per the New York Post for a price of $15.5 million, which was later reduced to about $13.6, and the listing's has been taken down. Now, Ignatova was reportedly forced to step forward as its owner to rules involving overseas companies that took effect in the UK last year. Disclosure states that Ignatova has purchased the penthouse through Abbott's Lab Penthouse Limited since May of 2016. But you don't know who really stepped forward, Jeff. It's hard to really say, but I thought it was interesting.
Here's what's interesting. Alchemist said, UBI, Trojan horses, condoms, whatever. Just flip the damn switch already.
Please do it, all right?
You know what I'm saying?
Please
flip the switch.
Flip it.
Come on, David. Come on, David.
You can do it. It's real easy. Just flip that switch.
It's not that hard. Really, it's just like, just make the move. Butthead, I just turned 95. It's the year 2067, and XRP equals X.X. I say 41 cents.
Best stablecoin ever, Jeff.
2067. I think we might get up back into the 70, 80 cent mark, and then it's going to pull back, might hit 30 cents, and it's going back. Man, when is the all-time high? So, Chip, do you think, here we go. Here's the movement of XRP. When does XRP actually make some changes here? Because Hydroponics Allen says they'll be shining the sun with XRP soon enough. It's a matter of time. We've been waiting for years. Chip, your mom says XRP should hit $10 next bull run.
I think that's hilarious when you're saying your mom every time, Jeff. Change that damn thing. I don't like that.
What's that?
It's ridiculous.
That's what it says. Your mom's.
Where?
Right there. That's the name. Your mom.
Yeah, go ahead. Put it up there. Take it down. Jeff, your mom says XRP should hit $10 next bull run.
Yep.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, yo? What's up, fam? XRP Rocks is in the house. What's up, Rocks? It sounds weird, right?
It does.
Butthead says,
Chip's mom.
Chip's mom.
Yeah. Need TV for my bunghole.
That's awesome. That was the greatest thing ever, man. They made fun of everything. It was like back when you could. By the way, your mom talks a lot. Your mom talks a lot, Jeff.
Your mom talks a lot.
Talks an awful lot, right?
Man, I'll tell you what. Man, Beavis and Butthead was probably one of the best shows ever created.
It's so ridiculous and bad and funny. It was at the same time. It was great.
Best.
I like how these. See parodies.
What does your mom have to say about that?
I don't know. She's. Let me get her on the phone here. Mom, what do you think about that? Oh, I'm sorry. She's talking with another cryptocurrency podcast as we speak. She can't get to the phone. Great. Thanks, Mom.
Your mom won't pick up the phone.
She's on somebody else's podcast as a guest. So she's texting me. You think I owe you anything?
Touchdown, Kansas City.
Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Knew it was going to happen. John Deaton put out a cool tweet here. And Lewis Cohen, who Lewis was supposed to come on the show, he said send him an email. I did send him. I don't know if we ever got back, but the relevant question at any given time was whether the LBC, which is that library token, is being sold as an investment contract transaction. Is the seller at the time of the sale inducing the buyer to purchase from her, making undertakings to the buyer about the profit potential of the asset. John Deaton said the application of the Howey is not that difficult to analyze. Those involved in crypto litigation and regulatory policy must get judges and U.S. regulators / legislatures to stop focusing on the token itself. The token itself is actually somewhat irrelevant to the Howey analysis. And it's like, he has to say this over and over again. And does it have to be said, Jeff? It's like, the oranges were not the security. The XRP is not the security. It's the whole scheme in which it's packaged. And it's the scheme behind it. He goes on to say that Hester Peirce herself criticized her colleagues at the SEC for focusing too much on the token itself. Watch her interview by Tony from Thinking Crypto below and go to the 18-minute and 58-minute second mark. And it says, a sitting commissioner of the SEC made the point that, and this is, I think that's Lewis Cohen, same one that Lewis Cohen's making. She said, we tend at the SEC to talk about the token itself as a security, and that's really a shorthand. What we've done now is we've said the orange groves are kind of like the security. Of course, making a jest, and it's really not, but that's just going to show you where we're at.
It isn't, and it's just too much.
Just goes to show you where we're at, Jeff, in this whole equation.
You know where we're at. Killis is saying, I didn't know Chip made an awesome Beavis and Butthead impression.
It's because I spent a lot of time watching the damn show. I mean, of course I did, one of my favorite shows, which says a lot right there. But
let's see, what other impressions do you do? How about
I got to work on my Sam Bankman-Fried one. I don't have that one. I got to study him a little more. But it's that whiny, high-pitched voice,
Yeah, that's a bad one. How about back in the day? Everybody here would know Alex Cobb, but maybe nobody knows who he is anymore.
Alex Cobb still streams. He gets to 350 people on every stream there, Jeff.
Oh, does he? I didn't know he was streaming. I thought he stopped.
Streaming.
Oh, really? I thought he stopped streaming. Oh, there you go.
Still streaming. Does anyone know, from Steve Walker wants to know, anyone know what Judge Torres' background is regarding crypto law? Yeah, I think we've been into that a little bit.
Not much.
I can tell you what her background is in this case. She's raked the SEC a couple of times, especially over that Section 5 violation, saying that all of SEC judges. So the SEC, every XRP sold in the secondary market, is that a security too? And they're like, oh yes, it is. And she went into the whole Section 5 violation. She's like, really? And they're like, yeah. It's like, that first rule of holes, when you're in one, stop digging, Jeff, because that's what happens.
Yeah, they don't do it.
This is Who's Crypto. He says, Chip Jeff, what do you think would happen if XRP gets regulatory clarity, but the crypto sector as a whole doesn't? $9 billion held in funds could flow to XRP.
This is a tough one, because I believe that if there is some sort of clarity given to XRP through this lawsuit, through judgment, then I believe it's going to be applicable to the space at large. So I believe that it's going to have major impact one way or the other. Right? If it's a negative outcome, it's going to be detrimental. Although they keep singling out Bitcoin, many of the politicians too, but I think they're using Bitcoin and just in reference to cryptocurrency in general. But what do you think, Chip? Where does it go?
I'm kind of the same vein, because I think that the reason it's such a big case is because it is far reaching into all of crypto. When you look at library and what's been done there, I do think that there's going to be some kind of a save made when John Deaton goes and represents that token, LBC token holder, who knew nothing about the coin had any value or traded or any of that when she started acquiring it. And Jeff, early days, since this channel's been live, we're over there on library as well. And we've also been accumulating. So, we have a lot of, I haven't checked what our balance is over there, but yeah, we're over there. We're there.
We are there. Hey, two things here real quick. First, your mom said, I'd love to be a special guest. Thank you for asking.
Talking about my real mom there. Sorry about that. What we're thinking about, Jeff, that we couldn't come up with here is
legendary pattern is entire teen years after Beavis and Butthead episodes. And that's pretty sweet.
That is very sweet, by the way. And Jeff, how come I can't find on the chain on Odyssey?
Odyssey.
I know why.
Let me see.
It's on
So
the
there
chain
was something
live.
else. There was something else.
There it is, right here.
Something else.
There it is. It's kind of loading right there. But if you can see right here, here we are. It's Odyssey is library's front facing. 950 uploads, 880 followers. Not a lot, but you know, but
How
again,
many?
people can,
What do we have over there?
we have
100?
880 followers. But how come our new stuff
Really on library? Man.
Jeff, why is our new stuff not going up there? And that's why. That's not good.
Oh, I don't know.
That must have broke somewhere. Yeah, because look.
Oh, no kidding. Are we? Maybe you have to open up the thing.
Let me go in here. Let's see if that's right. Okay, good. It is. Yeah, that was like some.
There we go. Thank God.
That was we had Jeremy Kaufman on there. So there it is.
Oh yeah, the man, the myth, the legend from library. Look at those views. That's a problem with that platform, but we don't really engage with it. I don't remember, but it's nice that it just everything's archived over there.
Yeah, everything we've ever done is archived here because this is decentralized, and hopefully it doesn't go under and everything's cool. But you can see everything here. You know, there it is right there, man.
Right there. So there was a poll that I put out here, and I'm going to end the poll right now. But the poll was: does Gary G get invited to join the Ripple board after his tenure with the SEC comes to an end?
You know, that's a possibility, Jeff. That's sad.
Gary gets a board position with Ripple, 22%. Gary doesn't get a board position, 78% of the voters said no. But you know what? Ripple has this tendency of hiring.
They do, but I think he's going to be banned for life, though. Quite honestly,
this guy, yeah.
It'll be like
this guy, he'll come knocking on the door. They'll be like, Gary, who?
Yeah, be just like the big time buzzer. You know what I mean? Banned forever. Woohoo! Yeah,
banned forever. There was a video over here that Stu Alderati was saying, you know, that was commenting on the nodes on the XRPL, and that the SEC actually has a node on the XRPL.
That's true.
Trying to pull that video up. It's there, but we're not going to play it.
Why are they engaging with the security, Jeff?
They are. Why are they engaging with the security? What are they planning for? What do they know? What do they know? I'll tell you what they know. Here's what they know. They know just about this.
Nothing, Jeff. Crickets.
Nothing. They know something. That was crypto craze. All right, Shib, we have come to that time.
Conclusion. That time. It is the conclusion.
But
of the show.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, it's the end. Yes, I know. But it has to happen. It can't go on forever, but we got to end this puppy. We got to pull the plug, Jeff. Get ready for Monday. It's already Monday. The Aussies are already off to a fantastic start. They're in the future there.
And by the time we end the show, it's like evening time in Australia. What do they do over there in Australia? They're so far ahead. You know, it's morning. They've eaten breakfast. They've gone about their day.
I don't know what they do over there, Jeff, but we should probably ask them once in a while, you know. What
do you guys do in the future? Chip, the blockchain backer impersonation.
That's a pretty decent one right there. How about this one? Savvy Granny says, I too believe XRP will go to 20 to 25 if Ripple wins the court case. And look, think about when it starts moving and all of a sudden people start piling in, like we heard on the previous tweet. As people start piling in, and then, I mean, it could go up pretty fast, Jeff, quite honestly. It could really do a run 10, 15, 20. Who knows? I think it could happen for sure.
Damn, look at this. Look at the time that is over there. I always thought it was 12 hours ahead, but I guess that's like Japan.
Depends where, though. Depends.
Savvy Granny saying it's 1 p.m. over there.
It's 1 p.m. My goodness.
We're about to go to bed. It's lunchtime over there. It's not breakfast. Steve Walker is saying
Adelaide,
12:30.
see? Depends where you are there.
In Adelaide, it's on that half-hour thing, like over in India.
Weird.
Over there, 10.5-hour time difference.
It's that weird sort of sector there. So, all right. So here we go. That's it. All we got for you guys. We will be back on Wednesday night. With another fantastic show. And until then, guys, have a fantastic week. Anything you want to say before you get out of here, Jeff?
It's 2 a.m. in the UK.
Oh, Flare Community's in here. I like that.
That's it. That's it. And Flare community, what is up? Good night, everybody. You guys are the best and the brightest in all of YouTube crypto space. We look forward to seeing everybody back on here Wednesday.
I thought you were going to say a different day. I'm glad you got it right, Jeff. Yay.
Monday.
Right. That's it. Chip and Jeff. Ouch. See you guys.
Out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.